Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving Schools.
Hello, how was your summer? Mine was fantastic. I had a few weeks in Australia, met some amazing people, actually convinced 2 people to support Luton Town. That was fantastic. And I just want to say before we start, I want to say congratulations on a very special day to Lauren and Drew, because that's the reason we went to Australia, to see them get married, and it was a fantastic day, so thanks for that. And now I'm really relaxed and ready, am I, to see what this season brings in our first league game of the year as it approaches. I'm hoping the negativity towards the club changes when we have a great first game. Several arrivals and departures, 2 new kits announced, third one pending. Some good pre-season performances, I'm sure the lads will agree with that. A new captain, what's not to like? Well, it seems there's a lot not to like, and I'm sure we're going to get to talking about it. Welcome to the first in the Town of the season, and thank you to Bataro, Darren and Steve for joining us. How's your summers been, fellas?
Oh, not too bad. Bloody hot at times.
Well,
it has
rather bizarrely,
really hot.
Rather bizarrely, not in Australia. It wasn't. It was freezing. But
good.
You know, what do you mean good? It was a fantastic time. Lots going on. Lots happening. Around recording time as well. So we'll keep our eyes on things that are going on around the club. Bataro, welcome back. It's nice to see you.
Yeah, sorry I was around it well then. Just like, what's going on? But yeah, it's been all right.
How excited are you about the new season coming along? Oh, here we go. I just said let's get rid of the negativity. And
No. Listen. It's not negativity, right? What it is, it's I just don't know how it's going to go. I'm excited, but I'm a bit nervous. Yeah.
Darren, you've already done 2 games of this season. Well done for that. I haven't done any. How are you feeling about the new season approaching?
I'm probably not. I wouldn't say excited, but I think it's going to be all right. I think talking to fans at both games, you still got that divide where some people think we're going to go straight back up. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I think playoffs in the round of playoffs, I think we probably need a season to bed these new players in, settle, get a new sort of ethos at the club, you know, and if we can go up through the playoffs or be there or thereabouts, fine, and then really go for it. So I don't know, I'm not like buzzing and it's back, and you know I didn't get to Kenilworth Road on Saturday and it's like you know I didn't have that buzz, which is a shame. I do think it's going to be a bit of a season of consolidation, and look, we should, in theory, at least win more games than we have done over the last couple of seasons. So
said this last season,
but you know, look, we're rebuilding. We look solid at the back, and we're probably 1 or 2 players away from having a pretty decent squad for this level.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, keep me happy. Well, how are you feeling about the new season coming on? Just keep me happy, just for a little bit longer.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting down to the ground on Friday. I have to say, pre-season I find tedious. You know, you want to see the real games. I'm happy with the majority of the sign-ins. I would like a couple more to have gone out of the door, to be honest with you, but it seems that some players aren't attracting any interest, so that is a shame. But I'd rather a few more would have gone from out of last season's squad. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think we are going to have a good season, personally. I know we all felt this last season, but I would suggest that we've bought people with the right character this time. Saville for one, Naismith for another. I think we went off the rails and just bought a non-Luton Town type players, but I think we have gone back to that now. We've got some pace, hopefully Gideon Codger can do some stuff for us, but the couple of positions that Darren mentioned that he's hoping to get replaced they're the critical ones. You know, I don't know how many goals Naki Wells is going to get, and I'll be interested to see how many goals he's got in the past by having a target man around him. You know, there's a couple of critical positions that we've got to fill, and they're the ones that were probably burning at the start of the window.
So we can all agree we're a little bit more excited this season now that we're ready to go. You know, we've got a few more days and then we're out on that pitch. And the pre-season's been sort of encouraging, Batara, hasn't it? When you think about last season, it was a bit disastrous. We could even go back to the pre-season in, where do they go? Slovenia, isn't it? Where they go to? Slovenia. Yeah. So if we compared this season, and thumbs up for the content, by the way, it was excellent. There was a more togetherness there, I felt.
I mean, there was good work, wasn't it? Done by the boys, obviously, at Luton with the mini-series on tour. So, yeah, well done for that. But, yeah, pre-season, I mean, I'm just reading here, scored 19 goals, conceding only 2. Yes, okay, level of opposition on some of the games.
You still got to score the goals, Batara.
Yes,
and
yeah, of course.
Last year's pre-season was a shambles in comparison to this season.
But this is the thing. The thing I'm looking down here, which I said after obviously leaving Saturday, after watching the Luton-Tottenham game, was the fact that we kept another clean sheet, which I'm happy about. The midfield looked organised. The defence looked good. They looked solid, apart from obviously the disruption with the injuries and whatever else. But yeah, I mean, clean sheets.
Can we see Matt's team coming together now compared to sort of what he took over from Rob last season?
I think we saw that towards the end of last season. You know, we were one of the most informed teams. The last 10 games of last season, look, we only just went down in the end. So I think we could see it coming together. We were harder to beat then. So I think it was probably not actually a Bloomfield, by the sounds of it, how he did things at Wickham. He used to play a bit more attack in everything. I think because the players that we've got, he ended up sort of playing a little bit more defensive. We kind of had to be harder to beat. Yeah. So I think we've kind of seen a different kind of Bloomfield team that he's worked around the players we've got. It just, look, we don't want to be on the negatives. It's just the one game that it needed to work was the one game it didn't, the last game of the season. Yeah. So I think we've picked up. Pre-season sort of almost where we left off. But I remember Wenger all those years ago saying, "Look, to have a successful team, you've got to start from the back.
Yeah,
stop conceding goals, start from the back, and build from there." And I think we have. You know, and it does look good. You know, I was at Southend. The tackle on Mengi was a non-league forwards tackle. It was awful. 5 minutes into the game. That they came to kick us off the pitch. They were rough and ready. It was dreadful. You know, and they wanted to go there for that kind of physical, challenge. But it looks like Mengi's out for a bit. But you know that defensive structure and getting Naismith in there, and actually the goalie Keeley, the two games, so vocal. Yeah. For a young lad, he's not massive, but he's so vocal, commands his area. Constantly talking, couldn't be more different from Kaminsky. Yeah,
I was going to say that's definitely something you can label at Kaminsky. You know, I thought he was by and large a really good shot stopper, but he didn't command his areas. I didn't think he communicated well. So hearing that is good. And, you know, a lot of people I spoke to about the Saturday game just said his distribution was just really,
I was just about
really
to
good.
say, his kicking was very good.
He's so calm on the ball. So calm on the ball. You watch the clips when players come to you, and we've all seen him score the goal. But he's very good with his feet. Maybe it's a new style of Bloomfield play, but we've got an identity. I think that's what we didn't have last season.
No.
So it looks like we've got the identity. We're going to be hard to beat. We're not going to concede many goals. We need a 25 goal a season striker.
Yeah. Can we bounce back, do a Birmingham, not with their money, obviously Birmingham did a lot to go back. It's going to be very, very difficult to get back in first try, but are we thinking if we don't get back it's a disaster?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Maybe not a disaster as such, but obviously the financial aspect that comes into it, doesn't it? But for me, it has to be, you have to go straight back up, because I feel like if we don't, I'm not saying losing some more players next season or whatever, obviously that will be come into it as well. You obviously people in their contract, and then you've got probably assign another 6, 7, 8 players again the next transfer window or whatever else, and it's a complete change. And then can you attract the players a season later to try and push on, or they just think it's not really a club going anywhere? I don't know, but I was gonna say until in regards to transfers as well, I just want to get the transfer window out the way.
The
and see
transfer
where we're
window is
at.
a pain in the backside.
Yeah, when that's
isn't it?
out the way, then I can relax a little bit and I can go, do you know what?
But
That's where we're at.
It is a nonsense that goes on a week
Yeah.
into the season. It's an absolute
month.
nonsense.
A
Is it
month.
a month?
It's a month.
Yeah,
It goes to the
Or
end of
maybe it's a
August.
week from probably when the
Premier
big boys-
League playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that is an absolute nonsense. Dave, you
We was in that once. by the
yeah,
way.
yeah, maybe we will be again at some point. You done that comparison with Birmingham, and you said, but not the money.
Yeah, well, we haven't got as much money as Birmingham had. We haven't.
Well, we should have, yeah, and this is the final season of parachute payments.
Yeah, I know that.
You
but
know, and whilst I'm happy with majority of these transfers, you know, this is our last opportunity to be financially superior to nearly everyone else in that division.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's not the same level as Birmingham chucked at it.
And Luton aren't going to do that. You know, look, I was lucky enough to be at a small get together last Thursday for some sponsorship do that we were invited to, and it was a question and answers with Bloomfield and a couple of the players. And you know, he had his own frustrations with how long the window's open for. But you know, there's no secret. He said it out loud. He said that back then. He said 2 in, 2 out probably, and that was from last Thursday. And he said, you know, 2 in, 2 out, and that's me done with my squad, and I'm happy with it. So we'll see. You know, we'll see. But yeah.
Talking of ins and outs, then let's just go through the ins first, if we can. We've already touched on our new goalkeeper. I remember him scoring that goal. Was he scoring a goal for Leyton Orient, didn't he?
Yeah.
Good header.
Yeah, and that sort of was that an extra injury time equaliser, took him to penalties and things. Yeah,
It was certainly a critical goal.
so we've got someone who can score a goal. Then that's a good thing. But you've seen him. I really haven't watched him. I watched him against Spurs. Yeah, he did okay.
I've not seen any.
He didn't have a lot to
pre-season.
do against Spurs, though, did he?
No, but somehow he got man of match.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah, I
what
was
I
thinking
was
that,
kind of
yeah.
a bit weird
Because
because
Clark, I mean,
I thought Jordan Clark was
Jordan
outstanding.
Clark. I'll say it now. He was superb.
He was outstanding in that
He
game.
was.
He was. Yeah, it was.
Maybe a little bit of weight off his shoulders. You know, Morris had the captaincy, but he was sort of vice captain and you know, a senior player and whatever. I think, you know, given the captaincy to Naismith, you just say to Clark, you now go and play.
Naismith as a captain. Okay, we've gone off the transfer thing. Just a minute. Naismith as a captain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
but
side.
he's number 2, so we can talk about Naismith.
Oh, he's
can't
on
we?
there. I didn't see that. Yeah, I forgot we signed him permanently. That one's done. So a good deal for Josh Keeley though, and for him to make the move from Tottenham to get football regularly with us. And
Yeah.
I sometimes think, what's James Shea got to do to get a game? But it's quite exciting to have this young guy in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with it. I wouldn't have been disappointed if Shea was the number 1 and we had a backup, but I think this guy he's pretty dynamic.
He knows the league.
Yeah,
He knows the league. He's played in a lot of the grounds. You know, he's got a little bit of experience there. He's full of confidence.
yeah,
We've touched on Cal because we sort of just let's talk about him. Club captain, right decision for me. Organiser,
gotcha.
strong, and you expect him to play every week now and just become a stronger player for the squad, for the team, for the younger players around him as well.
yeah.
He's a big influence, isn't he, Pizarro?
I mean, to be fair, this is the one, obviously, when we re-signed him, it's pretty straight after when the season finished, pretty much.
He was always
Yeah,
going
we
to come
knew.
back, wasn't
Yeah.
he? He was always
The
going
thing,
to...
obviously, when obviously he left, obviously at the end of the season, I think a few of us said, like, you know, he is the one you need to bring back because you need someone like that. And obviously, like, I'm going to obviously we'll move on to after, George Saville as well. Naismith and Saville. So you got like your spine kind of, you know, the team there. Leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Qualities, that's what you need to get out of League One.
There can be no other choice of captain in that squad.
No, and
No.
you know, look, Morris actually at Southend. That I was like, you know, we're missing that intensity of a striker like Morris and everything else. But Morris was never a captain.
No.
You know, and actually, I don't feel like he led by example because he's moaning at the officials and everything else. Naismith, you know, people will look up to him. You know, he's a proper leader.
Yeah, but it's natural.
Yeah.
It's natural. with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
You know, he's not going to lose something from his game by taking that
of
role
course.
on it. You know, even if he wasn't captain,
He'd
he
be doing the
would
same
still
thing,
do
yeah.
exactly the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
George Saville, you've touched on him from Millwall. Free transfer. I think that's good business.
Really good signing. Yeah. He's a quality championship player.
Yeah.
playing at league low. So
someone,
no-brainer.
Bloomfield said about durability, fitness. His record suggests.
Yeah.
So it's surprising that we signed him because he's not really injury prone. So
yeah, I was very surprised.
Well, talking of injury prone,
the next one, yeah.
I'll let you pronounce it, Steve.
Hakeem
from Rotherham. I think everyone from Rotherham was disappointed to see him go.
Yeah.
So
Player
quite
of the season, I believe.
Yeah, quite excited to see him play, but he's injured for a while. Did they say something? A stress factor somewhere?
Yeah, it's a strange one. It came up in.
Was it not tissue damage? No.
No, was it a non-football thing? Wasn't it? I thought.
Don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't like a football injury. I think it's a health issue.
They've definitely taken a gamble on him though, being okay relatively soon because it came up in the medical, didn't it? And they carried on with the deal.
Naki Wells, another one that we sort of already touched on. He has scored goals in the past, according to producer Jacob. 176 goals in 594 appearances for 5 clubs.
Yeah,
he's clearly been persuaded to come by Cal.
He scored 10 goals in the last season in the Championship for Bristol City in 42 games, maybe, I think.
So
he's still got a bit of pace. He's
all right. I mean, look, I think me and Steve mentioned before, and he's 35 years old now. At League One level, if you have more of the ball and doesn't have to do as much running off the ball, then good signing.
It's who he's got next to him.
Yeah, it is a good signing. I'm hoping he's not our out-and-out striker.
No, he can't be. Can't be because it just won't work. I remember when
He'll score about 40 goals this season now, you watch.
Years ago when Dean Saunders was playing really good, he was at Derby, then went to Liverpool. He always said he was only that good because Mick Harford was there to do so much of the work and help him out. And Wells can be a really good signing, but we've got to have the right person next to him.
One that's excited me a lot is a young lad from Exeter who was well thought of. He's 17.
Yeah.
He played 24 times last season for Exeter in the first team, 17 years old. If you're getting in the first team at that age, you must be something special.
But he just seems really composed.
Yeah.
He just seems really assured on the ball. You see
Great
some of these players
well.
they just seem to have more time on the ball. It just seems that he's not phased. He's not rushed or panicked into it. The very little I've seen of him. So
we are talking about Jake Richards, just in case anyone's wondering who the hell we're talking about. Do you think he starts? Do you think he starts every week?
No.
Do you think he comes off the bench? What do you
he played a lot of the game at Southend. If I'm honest, Nelson was far better than him.
Was he?
Oh, far better.
Yeah.
I mean, Nelson should have scored at Southend. He had a glorious one-on-one, hit it straight to the keeper. Nelson's much more developed than Richards at the moment.
Yeah, he's 17 years old.
He's 17 years old. He if we're winning games and 10, 15 minutes at the end, he's not going to be a starter. He'll be a bit part player, but one for the future for sure.
Yeah.
He's got something about him, but yeah,
we're going to have an injury crisis. You're going to see more of him than you feel.
We're going to play a lot of games. We've got EFL games. We're in the first round of the FA Cup, and I think it'd be those kind of games.
First round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I thought we'd left all this behind.
We might have like 55 games this season. So I'd imagine he'll be playing those lower cup games and things like that.
Games,
I'm excited by him, but he's not for now. For me.
Okay. Nigel Lonwick, is that how you pronounce his name? I think I've done well there. It's been sent to try us, hasn't it? Centre back on loan at Huddersfield last year. He comes on loan with the view to permanent. Now, clearly when they was doing those deals, they knew who was leaving. Again, this guy, is he going to be regular for us? Is he going to be there? Is he going to be one of our best players this season?
I think he's going to start the season because I think at the moment we've got about, was it 2 or 3 centre-halves out, have we?
Yes. The Tom Holmes thing is confusing me.
Yeah, he played the other day, didn't he?
He's still here, isn't he?
He's been in every training picture. He's been around.
Yeah.
No game until the Spurs game. But I think that's because, you got Mengi injured. Obviously, McGuinness is out injured. Doughty sat out on Saturday.
Anderson was back, wasn't he?
Anderson was back. But
did
then
Anderson come off on Saturday? Did he stay on?
But in regards to him started. It's a bit of a weird one. So the Tom Holmes thing, I don't know whether Tom Holmes is part of our squad or not. You'd like to think he could do a job at League One, but I've got a feeling he probably isn't going to be if Mengi and whatever else are fit. But sorry, this Longvic, he was the straight replacement for Doughty. So in the previous games, Longvic's played one of the three centre halves, but of course on Saturday he was playing the left wing back. I'm not sure whether we're playing wing backs or we're playing. I think we're playing the 3-4-3. So he played the left attacking kind of midfield. Yeah. He looked all right.
I think Ali will play that position, the left wing back role or left midfield or whatever. I think that'll be Ali's position next season.
But it depends whether we're playing, and this is it. You say about Bloomfield's way. It depends whether we're playing 3-4-3, because then if we are, then Ali's the left forwards.
Yes,
Because Clark was the right forwards on
obviously you've got
Saturday.
a new guy that's coming as well, haven't you? I'm pretty sure, I know that obviously Bloomfield fancies him on the left hand side, doesn't he? On a wider position. Maybe a narrow free, but I don't know.
But if we're playing wing backs, then you can't put Ali at left wing back. No. Do you know what I mean? So I think
you're just taking all of the good away from him. You've got to have him as advanced up the pitch as you can.
So I don't know whether we're playing a 5-2, whatever it is, or a 3-4-3. So I think it changes.
I think it does, like you say, from defence to attack, it does change. The formation does change slightly. I'd noticed that on Saturday, but I think if you're playing a three at the back, which is going to be, isn't it, three centre halves?
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be Makoso, McGuinness and Naismith.
That has to be the three.
That's my why I think it would be.
Yeah. I mean, Ali could rip this division up. He absolutely could, but we've got to use him right.
He is,
and keep hold of him.
He's been unreal. If we lose Ali, then because he's the one that gets you up out your seat. We haven't really got another player that does that at the moment. But he's had a sensational pre-season, Ali.
I know a couple of people that went to the game Saturday that were Spurs fans, and they both pointed to him and said he was strong, fast, direct, and skillful.
So then why... I know we're talking about players in and out, but while we're talking about Ali, why is he not our out-and-out striker? Because he's lightning, he's got skills, and he can score. So why is he not the man up top?
Maybe because he's such a good creator.
Yeah, I think I'd prefer him to take someone out on the wing and then just, in and out. Do you know what I mean? Because he can cut in, he can cut out. He's got a good left foot on him as well, so...
8 ins this season already, just 8, and I think just 8. That's quite a lot. 8. Gideon Gouda. I nearly said cheese there. I didn't mean to.
What did you say, Dave? Say it again.
Yeah, Gideon what?
Gudua.
Gudua. It sounds like you're falling down the stairs.
Someone tell me how to say it.
Codger, isn't it?
That's what Steve claims it is, Codger. But
fair enough. Whatever you want to call him. He's come from West Ham. He's played under Bloomfield twice already. I've nothing on him, really.
Yeah, I watched a 10-minute reel of him the other day.
I'm going to practice that.
I watched some highlights of him the other day. He looks pretty good.
He's a young lad that
West Ham on the 21 games and stuff like that.
We can't ask a lot of him.
Good with the ball, travelling, quite stridey, and looks solid.
If you're watching on YouTube or watching on YouTube at the moment, I can ask you to click and like the subscribe button. I'm going to say that early because just in case you don't stay to the end, we can have a short break while we have a quick chat with our Wimbledon supporter, and then we'll tag him on somewhere in this podcast. But we're going to have a quick break to have a chat with him.
Okay.
We'd like to welcome to When the Town Nick Draper from Wimbledon's 9-year podcast. Nick, thanks for joining and thanks for coming along.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Let's get straight to the point, right? It's good to see the real Dons back in another division, isn't it? We all know about the fast down the road from us, so we don't want to talk about them too much. So tell me, what was it like just to get out of that division?
Oh, well, I think it's a really strange one. Last season, we fancied ourselves to get in the playoffs, despite not being, by far and away, we did not have a budget that we would think would get us in there. But we thought we got a good group together, progressed really well under Johnny Jackson. So we thought we'd get in the playoffs. And then once we got there, it sounds ridiculous. We had a second half of the season that, was a bit of a struggle at times. But once we got into the playoffs, it was all kind of quite straightforward, really. We have a team we had a way of playing that teams could not figure out. Defensive record last season was outstanding, best in the division. We didn't concede a goal in the playoffs at all. Teams just couldn't figure out how to break us down, and we knew that we'd get a chance in the break, and it proved in all 3 of our playoff games. In terms of a playoff campaign, it couldn't have been more sort of relaxed, to be honest with you, and straightforward. It was nothing like previous ones. So when it came, it of course fantastic, but I think also came with the realization that we had a huge task ahead of us for this coming season. this summer so far has proved that.
It's sort of a dream, isn't it, to come from what happened to your club to where you are now and getting back into League One, and now you're playing Luton Town first game, which was the game. I said we weren't going to talk about it, but it was the game that launched you back into the league, and rightly so, as any true football fan knows, rightly so to be back there. What's your thoughts about our upcoming match this time? I mean, are you coming to Kenilworth Road? Are you excited about coming, or are you in trepidation because 2 seasons ago we were a Premier League side and we seem to have blown that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a strange one for me personally. Luton, I used to live in Luton. Luton are very much my second team. And listeners to our podcast are very much aware of my strong feelings for your club. I try and get up to Kenilworth Road every year, actually. I was up there. Last time I was up there was Swansea last season. I think you played Swansea at home last season. I managed to get up there. I love going to Kenilworth Road. It's by absolute miles, my favourite football stadium in the country. So many good memories there. So for me personally, the actual occasion is bigger than the actual game, as it were. Being able to get back into the away end at Kenilworth Road. There is a lot of trepidation amongst the fan base at the moment. We've not recruited the way we wanted to be, or with the way we wanted to have. Pre-season, the last few weeks has not gone great. Unless we get someone in, we were expecting a striker in today. This is Monday. Hasn't happened again. So we're all a little bit worried about that because we don't see where goals are going to come from. So Friday night, very much what you're going to see is you're going to dominate the ball, you're going to dominate possession, and we're going to stick as many men behind the ball as possible and try and catch you on the break. That's what we did in League Two very successfully last season. But last season we had 2 wing-backs, Josh Nerfel and James Tilley. One Nerfel with incredible pace on the break, and Tilley, on the other hand, who just needed to take a touch and get the ball in the box as quickly as possible. We've not replaced either of those two, and without them, not really sure how we can try to score goals.
Yeah, we all know about Josh Nerfel, don't we?
Yeah,
oh, good boy, yeah.
Nick, you said a moment ago, Nick, about the transfer window hasn't gone how you would wanted it have done. Do you feel that they've gone for realistic targets, or have you just been outgunned by other clubs financially? Why hasn't it gone according to plan?
Without knowing the exact nature of things, in individual cases and whatever, but I think that the bottom line is just finances. We can't compete financially whatsoever. We knew coming up into the league that we were going to have the bottom budget. We knew this in January. I think our director of football, Craig Cope, who has possibly been the best signing we've ever made as a football club, to be honest, but I think in January he was already talking about, we've got a budget for League One next season, we've got a budget for League Two next season, and in neither case are they promotion budgets. But so they're not a promotion budget for League Two, and we knew that League One it was going to be rock bottom. Yeah. So we just can't compete now. In previous years, we've as every club does in the lower leagues, we've made good use of loans. Not had that so far. We've picked up a couple of free transfers, as you expect. Players that return into the club: Steve Seddon, Joe McDonnell. Joe McDonnell was number 2 to James Shea. Would know James Shea very well from his time at Wimbledon. Yeah. And then, other than that, a lad centre midfielder from Fulham was possibly the best name we've ever had, Delano McCoy Splat. Nathan Bishop is goalkeeper we have got to replace Owen Goodman, which looks like a strong signing, but he's the only one I think we'd have paid any money for whatsoever. Just not sure. The problem is, and I'm sure you guys have got the same issue as well, we're starting so early. I don't remember ever starting a week before the championship before. It might have happened, I don't recall it. But we're starting a week before the championship. I think we're starting 2 weeks before the Premier League, and a lot of these clubs looking to send out players on loan or whatever are just waiting for, it's like the domino effect or the jigsaw. Like they're waiting for other pieces to fall into place before they can commit to perhaps giving us anyone. So we're hoping, rumours, players from Charlton, for example. Sorry, I know. I think you become their feeder club this season. But then, as I say, that's exactly it. It's the knock-on effect. So they've signed quite a few, and in doing so, that frees up players in their squad to come out on loan, and that's what I think we're hoping for as well. So at the minute, perhaps just waiting, but it's going to be, for Friday. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to have anyone in time for Friday. In which case, it's going to be a struggle for us. I can't.
Yeah, we found as we were fortunate enough to go up through the divisions over the last few years that whilst we didn't have the budget or maybe on paper the quality players, we had this unbreakable unit that was so tight. That did absolutely explode. Last season, but that bond and togetherness was a real leveler in the games that we were playing. Do you think that's something that you're going to rely on heavily?
Oh, we absolutely have to. I mean, last season, like I say, I think we were 14th in terms of the budget table. The much vaunted budget table. I think we were 14th, but we had such a tight knit group, and there was never any question. Every single player, 100% every single game. There's we're like every set of supporters. We can moan about anything, but one thing we cannot moan about these last couple of seasons has been the levels of effort put in by the players. And we know we've not got the most talented squad, but the teamwork, the work ethic, it just wasn't matched in League Two last season by any other team, to be honest with you. And it will take us a long way, but I think what we've all knew is that we needed to add quality to it, and we just, as it stands, we haven't been able to. And I think the weaknesses of the individuals, like I said, a lot of the time last season, actually, I think, and it ties in with what you're saying about you guys. The team is greater than the sum of its parts, and that could not be more true of us.
Yeah,
and just to have a look at your pre-season results here, obviously I don't know how the games went, but it looks a little bit doom and gloom, if you don't mind me saying. But has it sort of been as bad as what it looks on paper here, or have you been a bit unlucky there? Or
I'll have to be very honest and say I'm not someone who does the pre-season, so this is all going to be second-hand information. But yeah, the reports are we have looked poor, especially against Southend of the weekend. Johnny Jackson even said that was nowhere near good enough, which is not something you normally hear about a pre-season friendly. But it all comes back to the same thing. It's just that there's no goal threat. It can't really figure out how we're going to go about and try and score goals. The pace of Nerfield in the second half of last season was essentially our tactic. And it was great because no team in the division teams couldn't overcommit against us because they knew that we'd be straight on the break with Nerfield and they couldn't catch him. And it really was reduced to that. Couldn't make it up. It sounds ridiculous.
So come Friday, is there any player we should be looking out for? You sound.
Hey, look, we still got some good players. I think the most talented individuals are probably Marcus Brown, but again, he's been missing the last two in pre-season. Not sure why, but we know he's injured, but we don't know the extent of it. So he would be, in terms of the quality that we have, would be our most talented player. Miles Hippolyte is a very, very good player as well. Again, he plays, good players, but what's around them, that's the problem. And goals are a massive problem. So Matty Stevens, second top highest goal scorer in the league last season, but only one, I think, in the second half of the season from open play. Looks bereft of confidence at the minute, can't get him into any sort of position to score goals. Omar Bugiel is more of a target man. He's not the biggest lump either, but he's not a goal scorer. So really we're looking at, as we said, the defensive shape and trying to just be very, very hard to break down and hard to beat. We play with three centre-halves. We've got Riley Harbottle, Ryan Johnson, again, Joe Lewis, who is most people's pick of our squad. He's, again, not featuring at the moment. He's got a shin injury. Not sure if he's going to be ready for Friday. So yeah, in other words, no, not really.
I hate to say it, but this is a lump on 0-0, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, don't say that.
Because we always struggle when we have to break teams down.
We can't break teams down, and we haven't got a striker, but we don't concede goals.
So I mean, this is it. It could well be. A very frustrating 0-0.
Well, I hope for our sake it isn't. I hope for our sake we get a result. Just before we ask you for that dreaded prediction, Nick, if people want to hear your reaction to the game afterwards, where do they go? Where do they see you or listen to you guys?
Okay. Yeah, so we are the 9 Years podcast. We are 106.58% unofficial, and we are available on. You just follow us on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it at 9YRS Podcast, or go to our website 9yrspodcast.org, and you'll get all the links to everything from there.
Great. We'll get Jacob to put those up on our socials too, so that people can follow you and see how you felt the game went. So we haven't done any predictions at all this evening at the moment, but what are you thinking? Are you going with this 0-0, or do you generally think that, Wimbledon might just pull another shock out of the bag?
I must admit, I've said this to a few people, there's so much negativity, and it really is quite bizarre for a team that's just been promoted. There's a lot of negativity around the fan base at the moment for various reasons. A lot of people think, there's not been a great deal of stuff coming out from the club comms wise, and not really telling us everything, and not really getting us excited for the season and all this sort of stuff. And it's led to a little, and obviously the pre-season results, especially this last week, haven't been great. So there's a lot of negativity. When things are so negative, it's always been the way that we've then pulled out a result out of nowhere. It's just always been the way. I have a feeling that I wouldn't, what, I'm not going to rule out, and this will be my official prediction, we take a 1-0 win. But come the end of the season, you guys will still be back promoted and back into the championship, and we will still be in the bottom six. But on Friday night, I wouldn't. Yeah, I can properly see us winning, I must admit.
Well, if we lose and you can guarantee promotion, I'll take that. Nick, listen, thank you so much for joining in with us this evening. I'm sorry the sound isn't as good as it could have been, but hopefully we'll sort that out for the return fixture. Go and follow these guys, and make sure that everyone has a listen to it. Let's talk about the outs. Let's talk about the outs, because actually some players, you were we surprised about the people who have left. And let's start with the big breaking news this evening. Alfie to Millwall. Wow.
I think he was.
Do you think he was done? Do you think
he was done? He's better than League One. Dare I say it? Without him, we're a more sort of overall team. He doesn't. Takes all the corners, takes all the free kicks. He'd done his time for us. It's fine. I've got no problem at all with him going. He's going to. I'm surprised he's going to Millwall. Would he have gone?
Millwall's his club, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it's his club, but would he have gone there if that wasn't?
Well,
he
wouldn't have gone there had we not got relegated.
They're having a bit of a go. They've spent record amount on a striker. I think they're having a bit of a go next season. So maybe he's
fair
buying
enough.
into
But
that.
There's no problem. I mean, it's just it's just weird again. He was injured at the weekend, and then at the last minute. It's just nonsense. Fans aren't stupid.
Yeah, you'd rather him come out and say the truth.
Yeah, it's a difficult time with regards to confidence in the club, transparency, and all this lot. And before the season's even started, we've come up with this nonsense about, he was pulled out just before kick-off because he was injured. Matt Bloomfield was put on the spot and clearly can't lie to save his arse. So, just tell it how it is. We're educated people. We know the club. We know what the sport is. We know how it works.
And we were expecting it anyway, weren't we? Let's face
exactly.
At some point to go. But
the club has just got to start. Just sort yourselves out.
If you based Alfie's departure on last season alone, it would be going, I can see he didn't really click, did he, last season? But
he did it right.
Yeah, but not all the season. He wasn't the player he was two seasons.
He got injured, though, didn't he?
2 seasons before, when we got promoted and in the Premier League, he was a quality player. If we'd have got rid of him then, I would have said we'd have got a lot more money for him.
Probably got about 15 million plus for him, wouldn't you?
But there was a large part of the Premier League season as well, maybe sort of 2/3 the way through, his form dropped off quite badly and that. But, as I say, I think it's good for everyone.
Good timing, wish him well.
I think it's an unbelievable signing for Millwall as well. I think it's an unreal signing for them.
Yeah. Well, let's wish him well. Unless he's playing Luton Town, make sure he's having a great time. It's his club, isn't it? So why not? Who else we're going to talk about? Amari Bell. Well, he was going to go, and there you go, gone to Charlton, obviously.
Along with the recently injured Reece Burke.
Yeah. What? No injury.
And on Twitter today, they were saying that he's injured.
I was gutted with that one though. I was gutted with Reece Burke. He's a good championship defender. He would have been unreal in
Probably one of
League
our
One
best
if fit.
defenders, but
Yes,
he was never fit.
No, which is why I'm a little bit surprised he went to a Championship club, albeit
Well, it's
to
Nathan, isn't it?
and
It's Nathan.
whatever.
Yeah,
And Kaminsky as well.
yeah, not bothered.
Yeah, you know, again, yeah, and actually with Alfie, Kaminsky, Bell, Burke, Morris going, actually these are kind of the players we needed out the door because of that.
Yeah, I thought my prayers had
That
been answered a
hangover.
couple of weeks ago when apparently Preston were interested in Chong, but nothing
Well-
come of that.
Oh yeah, Chong. What happened to him?
Well, exactly. You know, there's
What's
you know,
happened to him? I've not seen him at all.
I don't know.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
And Brown, well, Chong and Brown, they're the
Yeah, well,
I saw
Brown's
Brown the other
still
day.
injured, isn't
Yeah,
he?
I saw him the other day. I saw the ground walking in. Yeah, he was there.
Tello.
He was injured.
The Tello one was a bit.
Gutting.
Are you really gutted?
No, I was gutted because he was one that we bought in January. And I looked at him and I went, he makes something different. I kept saying it on the podcast last season. Sorry, towards the end, he had something different about him.
With Tello, though, he would have joined with a guaranteed break clause if we got relegated because he was leaving Wigan to come to us. Mm-hmm. And, you know, had we stayed up, they might have all stayed and tried to push on. You don't know.
Do you reckon him and his agent said to the Norwegian manager, "Can we say that you've done this?"
The Norwegian manager really, he put it out there, didn't he?
The thing is, though, right? He's joined Rangers. I mean, yeah, okay.
Well, it'll be a
Champions
European
League, Europa
football.
League, or whatever it
Yeah.
is, for 3 games probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, but other than that, he's playing Scottish Premier League football. I'm sorry, but Scottish Premier League football, other than the top 2 or 3, is probably League One stand anyway.
Yeah, but he's playing in front of 50,000 every other week.
Yeah, but what does that? What does that
And he
mean?
gets to play. And he
more
gets to play.
recognition with Norway with that.
Yeah.
No, you are fact. He's going to. It's going to be
I
looked
know.
on beneficially.
And he'll play Celtic 4 times.
But it's a bullshit league, though. That's what it is.
Well, it is. I agree with
It
you,
is,
but
but
that's nothing that Scotland can't help that.
But what I'm saying is, the Norwegian manager is saying, "Oh yeah, you need to, play at a higher level and whatever." Yes, okay. The Scottish Premier League might be looked at as a high level in League One, but realistically, it's not. I'm sorry, it's not.
I sort of agree to a point. The top 2. There's only one team that's going to win it every year at the moment, isn't there?
at the moment, yeah.
I mean, apart
But
from
he's
that,
still
who
gonna
watches Scottish League football now? League One is probably more watched than Scottish
Well,
football.
yeah, but he's going to be on a half decent wage there. He's playing European football, so his exposure is greater. He's likely, if he's playing well, to be picked by his national team because he's in that division. Whether Asgard and his agent said to the manager, "Oh, can we say that you've said this?" or whatever way round it was.
Yeah.
So it is happened. It is a good move
it
for
makes
him
sense if it was like that.
for exposure.
But Steve, you say about people saying the truth and everything else. Fine, he's gone. He was with us for 6 months. His statement when he left was laughable. I've enjoyed my time at the club and some happy memories at the thing. I'm thinking, how many games did you play in those 6 months we actually got anything? It's
probably AI generated.
It wouldn't surprise me. But just going down that list, that Taylor Harris, he's gone to Tranmere on a loan. I'll tell you what, in that game at Slovenia, and I know they were playing, they were playing some schoolboys by the end of it, by the look of it. He looked really, we were talking, Batara, about Ali's the one that gets you up off your seat, that excitement.
Yeah.
He looked like he's got something about him, that lad.
Yeah, I've seen some footage of him. Obviously, like playing at youth level, not youth level, under 21s. Who was he at before? Was it Reading? Was it?
I don't know.
Whoever it was that.
I don't know. But he got a couple of goals, didn't he, in that game? And I was watching that, and I was thinking, he's got something about him. Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how he gets on there.
Like you say, if he has a good season or half a season at Tranmere, is it? Yeah. So they League 2 today, Tranmere. Mm-hmm. So if he has a good 6 months or whatever, you never know, might come back and try him in League One. But it all depends on the amount, like say, after the transfer window finishes, how much quality we've got in the squad and depth. So
So, no surprise that Hashi went. Just didn't fit, did he?
No.
I'm not surprised.
Was he
at all.
ever good enough? I don't really know. I think he was played out of position.
Yeah, I don't think we can ever really judge him, to be honest with you, but it wasn't a good fit. It wasn't a good fit for us. It was a strange one at the time, and yeah.
And the other general one, I mean, Jack Walton.
He signed him, like I said here, never played a game for us.
Yeah, Piera.
Yeah, I always thought he was going to go on and do something.
Who's that?
Dion Pereira.
Pereira, yeah.
Never quite cut it, did he?
Who was he on loan to last season?
Was it Bradford? He did a bit of Bradford.
Yeah, he
for
did
a
it
while.
right, didn't he?
Yeah.
It's a strange one. The one that we do need to mention, and I'm delighted he's got another club, is Luton legend Pelly.
Yeah.
Cambridge. That's a good deal for Cambridge, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you know, he's obviously going to be happy there, hopefully. But yeah, I think it would just be good for him to be back in the team, playing regularly, hopefully winning more games than not, because I think that's when you get the best out of him personality-wise as well.
Transfer windows are always frustrating, as we've already sort of touched on. You know, ins and outs happen, and you know the season starts, and you could still lose players, and you can still sign players. We keep saying we need another striker. Chances of that coming? Do you think?
Well, it's got to be good.
But the trouble is, they're all going. You know, you'd like to think we would have had a look at Alfie May. You know, he's gone to Huddersfield. We were looking at Kelman, who's Nathan's.
Shelton.
The moment we mention a player, Nathan's going to have a look. They're all getting snapped up, and you're looking around going, is there any left? What you know, I'd love to see us. Luton won't go and chuck. Sorry, Batari.
No,
Luton, you know, we were saying about the Birmingham. Luton aren't going to go and chuck loads of money, but if we can chuck $1 million at an Alfie May, who did it last season, then you know, I mean, imagine we're talking about our defensive setup and how good we're looking. If you then go and chuck in a 20, 25 goal striker. We're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get them for less than 7 figures, probably.
The only thing is, obviously, with a striker, I mean, obviously you got Wells. I don't think he'll play 2 up front. I think it'll be 1 striker with obviously wingers and whatever next season. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go and get a young player out from a Premier League team on loan or something like that. Because the thing is, you got Wells and you got obviously Nordas. For me, Nordas deserves a chance at this level. No. You don't think so?
No.
Really?
No. I'm sorry.
No,
I wanted to be as positive as I could be.
There was going to be one player he doesn't like, isn't there? Always, every season.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be all season now. Darren's like, no, don't talk about him. No.
He tackled our own player on Saturday.
He's
what's his Gideon was running into the box off the wing,
right.
And Nordas ran into him and tackled him.
Yeah, this is it.
That's
only one thing, though.
No. Look, I watched him.
He scored a couple of good goals this pre-season as well.
I honestly. At Southend, I'm sorry. At Southend, after half an hour, the lads behind me, fair play, they were giving the Southend lot a right old going, so it was good fun. But they were screaming, "Get him off!" after 25 minutes. He's a lump. He can't run. His positioning is terrible. He's not the answer. I'm not
saying he's the answer, but I'm saying like give him a chance. I mean, he hasn't played a lot of football.
If he's not the answer, why give him a chance? You know, this is what pre-season's all about.
That is the question.
Yeah, but the point being, he could grow into a player that actually, you know, scores goals, has a bit of confidence. I mean, if you look at him, all right, he's playing in the Norwegian league or whatever it was, Danish league, Norwegian league. Before we signed him, Tromsø was it?
Sweden. Was it
Sweden?
Sweden?
No, I think
a different league.
Anyway, regardless. But you see like the highlights of his goals that he scored. There was some good goals in there and some running. He's direct.
At the Southend game, I was looking, going, that's his level, non-league, League Two.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That is, I'd arguably rather have Woodrow ahead of him.
Woodrow as well. We forgot about him. There you go. It's your best mate,
and then look at your face, Steve. I think that's the problem. Like, okay, Nucky Wells, great. You know, he's going to do a bit. Look, last season I got absolutely roasted for saying Brown's a League One striker. Well, he is a League One striker. We need him back. He may do a bit.
See, I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go as well at some point.
But for wages rather than for the player he is.
I wouldn't want him in the squad. I'll be honest. I'm not saying I don't rate him to a certain level. He works hard. Yes, he scores a few goals every now and then. Not consistent, but for me, he offers nothing really other than a bit of work.
He'll be better than Nordas or Woodrow.
See, I don't know.
But he's a channels runner. He's not like your target man and feed from him. He's a channels player. He's not massively strong. And you say about wages, I bet you he's on a wage that no one else is going to say, "Oh, we'll take him."
Exactly.
Well, apparently he's on one of the highest earners, isn't he? But yeah.
Wow.
Well, you say that, Steve, but his goal against Palace, the winning goal against Palace at home, bullied between the 2 defenders in the middle of the box.
Bullied or ran a channel?
Ran a channel. He was down the middle, wasn't he? But he got there.
Ran a channel.
Look, Okay.
I'm just considering not doing this podcast anymore. I can just see a whole season of this is going to do.
We're going to
my head
start
in.
fighting, I reckon.
And of
halfway
course,
through it.
at some stage in the season, Adebayo is going to come back.
Good.
Hopefully.
Oh well,
Good.
that'd be nice,
You know,
if he gets back into
Yeah,
team.
this is the thing. This is why I can't really see us signing a striker for big money at the moment because, like I said, you got so. All right, Steve's like, I can see your face. He's look at him. He's fuming.
Yeah, one of them would have to go.
But like you say, when's Elijah back? November time,
no, it'd be
December.
after that.
Yeah, it'd be
Probably
a
after
long
Christmas.
time. It's a long recovery.
Okay, so okay, forget that one then. So you got obviously
Right.
Woodrow.
Well, listen,
Woodrow,
Wells.
Wells, and an injured Brown at the moment.
And
Well,
Brown, yeah.
we'll
And then
know.
they need
If you sign another one, and all these players are back. You've got like one position up front, and you've got 6 strikers. What do? Do you offload? I mean, that's what you've got to do realistically to get another one in. You have to offload 1 or 2 of these strikers then. Somehow injured. How?
on massive wages.
Yeah, how do we do it?
Right. Look, before we finish, it's been great to have you all back. Actually,
Yeah.
I've missed the banter and
I've missed seeing Steve's moody face. To be fair, look at him.
Oh, look, I just read down there.
Bit of sideline there.
We forgot about Joe Johnson as well, didn't we?
Is he
We
injured?
yeah, he pulled his hamstring
brilliant.
at Southend. But
Right.
we were talking about defenders earlier. Forgot about him, didn't we?
Do you think he'll be the replacement for Doughty? Left wing
He
back.
likes him. He likes
Yeah.
him. He likes. I know Bloomfield likes Joe Johnson and Nelson. He really likes Nelson.
Oh, mate, Nelson's brilliant. I think he'll start a lot of games next season.
we'll see Friday at Kenilworth Road under the lights. First game of the season. We will see.
And Nordas scores a hat trick after 30 minutes playing.
If you're right, Pitaro, the beers are on you.
Better put Bell in there, haven't I?
Well, we're talking about the game. You know, it'd be nice to see how it goes. See a proper game now, one that means something we have to win, and really set out our stall for the rest of the season. Especially because we're the first fixture in the division, we need to put out a statement there. We've just had earlier this evening, we had a chat with Nick Draper from the Wimbledon Football Club podcast, 9-year podcast. Let's have a listen to what he had to say about Wimbledon. It was a good chat with him, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, he's quite a knowledgeable lad, wasn't he?
It was not, and he optimistically
Well, I mean, you
pessimistic.
say, you say, Dave, you say we're doom and gloom. I mean,
Oh yeah,
That's it.
it sounded a bit like us though. He was talking about the
Realist, though.
the way that the club has been run recently and the communication. It sounded a bit like Luton Town, didn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, only time I'd say. We could be sat here in about 4 weeks' time going, fucking that was a great start to the season. 6 wins out of 6 or whatever. But yeah, let's hope.
Before we finish tonight, we just need to go with
Prediction league?
prediction league, just predictions, because Darren doesn't want to do it anymore because he didn't win.
Yeah, well, Darren don't have to do it. It's fine. I want to beat Steve this year, so I want to do it.
Okay,
Steve,
you can-
You're going to keep. I'll pass the baton to you. Sorry, I'm
So,
happy with that.
Bataro,
I'm used to this sort of stuff. Oh, okay, fine.
let's do it now. What do you think the score is going to be on Friday?
So, hang on a minute. I'm going to go for a 2-0 Luton win.
Okay, 2-0 Luton. Steve?
3-1 Luton.
3-1.
Hang on a minute. Sorry, Steve. 3-1. Yep.
We'll get Jacob to send us his one.
Yeah.
If we haven't done
Dave?
already.
I'm
Darren.
going to
sorry.
go 1-0 Luton.
1-0.
Yeah.
So, 1-0. And Dave, you are?
Any guesses?
3-0.
3-0.
I'm confident that we're
Are
going
you
to
actually going for 3-0, yeah?
we're going to
right,
put in a
okay.
good performance, and we're going to take all 3 points, and something is going to change. Attitudes for all the supporters are going to change, and we're going to get behind the team and cheer them on.
Just very, very quickly, we have got to hit the ground running.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's on a knife edge at the moment how things are going with regards to relationships between the club and fans. If we don't have a good start, it's going to be trouble down there.
Well, let's hope for the good start. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. As I said earlier, if you haven't already on YouTube, like and subscribe. It's always helpful. We're here for the whole season. Hopefully a much, much better season than last season. And maybe we'll be talking about how soon we can confirm our promotion. Fingers crossed for that. Enjoy it under the lights. It'd be great to be back. We didn't even talk about the kits, by the way, which I like.
Orange kit's beautiful.
I like
Or
them.
red kit, as you say.
We got an orange kit, have we? This is
Someone,
orange.
yeah,
if you watch on the YouTube, this is orange.
Can I just say it's the exact same orange as last season. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you all again next time.
Thank you.